Maybe not? Oh, I don't... Oh, we're back! We're back! Yay! Okay, cool. Continuing onward and forward. Never give up. Never surrender. What was I saying? Oh yeah. All this is just setting variables. That's all it is. I mean, all this is just compare this. If, else if, for anyone who doesn't recognize, this is a little elif there, but it's still an else if, like I talked about last time. Calling functions that just go do more comparisons. But all you need to do is play a game is to get user input, compare the input, and then output. That's literally all you do. And I'm going to keep saying that and keep saying that. I really want to drill that into your head, that because this is something that plagued me back when I first started programming, was the idea that, oh, programs are these kind of mythical, out there, I'm never going to know how to do that. It felt so big. It's like, how could I ever write something like iTunes? Well, if you think about it, really, something iTunes is, at its core functionality, not all the settings and stuff, but its core functionality is a list of songs, some data about the songs, the ability to play a song, and a volume bar. That's all it is. I mean, that's a bit more than what we have right now, but it's not a lot. It's really not a lot. It just feels like it because Apple's hired, probably more than a dozen graphic engineers to make it all look nice and pretty, and they've optimized that code and all that stuff, but it's still basically very simple. Go away, Skype. Do not want you right now. So people are loud. So anyway, I really cannot stress that enough. This is just setting stuff. My you go down here. Here's complicated code. You want to see code that isn't just assignment statements. And it's still a lot of assignment statements, but it's a little more complicated. Here are regular expressions. Yay! Regular expressions are fun. We'll get there maybe a year from now. I don't know. Regular expressions make my head hurt. They're really useful. They do pattern matching, where you can say, like, I want to match if the third character is equivalent to these things and the fifth character is equivalent to this, but if not this, and instead of having to write all that out, you can just write this expression that evaluates out to that, which is cool, but not the easiest thing to read and understand. Also, don't do this. Yeah. Oh, come on, as a variable? Really now? No. Don't. I have no idea what those variables do. I'm not even thinking that, okay, last one. No idea what that does. It doesn't make this difficult to read code any easier. I mean, to do, decipher. There's a to do in this code to decipher what this does. Seriously? No. Don't do that. Name your stuff well. But this is more assignments, user output, printing. More of that. And I don't want to bore you because I feel like just showing you code over and over can be boring, right? But more assignments. I would challenge you tonight to go write a rock paper scissors game. It's really simple. The only things you're gonna have to need to know that you might not are a few built-in functions. Just like, interrupt this. Like we used system out println. That's a function. You're gonna need to know a few of those. That's in Java. In Python, it's just print. But really, if you just go look up math.rand, so you can pick a random number and print out, and system in for input output, and picking a random one. You can write a tic-tac-toe game. Go do that. That's what I want you to do tonight. Go write a tic-tac-toe game. But I want to show you, as my kind of last, and this is going to be pretty short because it's just showing you some stuff. I wanted to take today and just be motivational of, yay, you're awesome. Go do stuff. Go do stuff. Go learn more, always. But I want to show you this. This right here is a is a function to, well, all of this, all that, is a function to write an AI to play tic-tac-toe. Not kidding. In no way exaggerating. This TTT AI, tic-tac-toe AI, will return in one of these if statements. See, each one of these variables is set to a function, and then an if statement, and then an output. Really, assignment statements, if statements, output. Seriously, all you need to write an AI to play tic-tac-toe. It doesn't play it perfectly. You can beat it, which it was written that way intentionally because what's the fun? If the AI plays perfectly, it never loses. That's boring to play against, I promise you. Having had to do it before and having had to test it, it's boring. But this one, what it's going to do is, and I'll just kind of show you how this steps through, is we take the variable when, which you'll notice isn't instantiated. There's no what type is it, because Python is one of those loosely typed or weakly typed languages that I talked about 2 episodes ago. It assigns the thing TTT when. So we go down here and look at what this does. Well, this sets this array, actually it's a multivariable array, but this array to multi-dimensional array. All arrays are multivariable. Words. But it just sets this string of numbers, right? It's just 036, 012, and 0268 within different little groupings to make it easier to look through them. You could theoretically just have all of this in one long list, or all of them as different variables. It gets uglier, which is why we use arrays. But if this, return a number. Seriously, and this is it checks and see if you're if anyone's gonna win on a diagonal. I assume everyone knows how to play tic-tac-toe. I just realized I didn't explain what the game was, but I hope you know how to play tic-tac-toe. If not, this will be a little confusing. I'd suggest go and figure out how to play. It's really simple. But this checks all the diagonal wins. This checks the vertical and horizontal ones, and it's just it's a little, you can't really see how it does that, but like for example, it just starts through here. This is how tired I am. I'm pointing at the screen. Can you see my finger? I'm pointing at the screen going, look at this, right? I'm tired. We had planning today. It was long. But it starts on this number and says if outer count, which in this case is going to be this whole array or this whole array, whichever one, if the length of that is equal to 4, if it's that one, do this stuff. Well, it's not. So I'm still pointing with my finger, putting my arm behind my back. I'm not going to keep doing that. Point with the mouse. Else, so it's not that. So instead, we're going to do this. And if 3 is equal to the second number, because remember, arrays start at index 0, or just computer counting in general starts at index 0. So 1 is really the second value. You'll notice it's up there. If 3 equals that, over here, then go do this stuff. And then if this part of the tic-tac-toe board and this part of the tic-tac-toe board are equal, and this part has been taken and this part hasn't been taken, all that, then it knows, okay, well then that person's going to win along that set of 3 like numbers. Like on the farthest left column, go, top left, middle left, it'll look through it and go, oh, okay, I need to play at the bottom left to win, or I need to play in the bottom left to block my opponent from winning. So it does that, and if no one's going to win, well, it just says, okay, I didn't get anything, no one's going to win, return -1. And I'll get into what a return statement really is tomorrow. And so it just checks all of it. So all of that gets done here, and win gets assigned some number. Let's say it's -1. Well, then if this is not equal to -1, if you go back and remember what your not does, your exclamation point is a not, it's not equal to -1, well then give it back to me because it's some useful value, right? But let's say it is -1. Okay, then we keep going, and we go down to the next one. And this is real simple. It's, has anyone played in the center, the center of the board? If so, return the center of the board. If not, return -1. Corner, edge, same thing. It just checks, can I play in the corner? If so, play there. Can I play on an edge? Well, you're going to have to, because the edge is the last case. If you can't do everything else, you can always play at an edge. So theoretically, this doesn't need this there. It's not possible, but you should always include it just in case. You should never have a thing where it just doesn't give you back a value when you're expecting a value. Some languages won't even let you do it. I think Python will, but never do that. It's bad. That's how you create bugs, because it's possible that somewhere down the line there will be a situation where that thing isn't always true. It doesn't always give you back a valid value, in which case you just don't get a value back, and then that variable doesn't have a value. It's equal to null, and it just is like, wait a minute, what? And it'll probably just crash your program, or it'll have a weird value plugged in there and give you some logic error. I personally prefer it to crash, because then I know what went wrong. But seriously, this is comparison statements, loops, which both are things you should at least be familiar with, and that's it. I could have all this code, all this, I could have up here in this library if I really wanted to. Down here, where this gets called, I could stick all of that in there, not use the function, and it could still work. It would just be uglier. So we put in functions to make it prettier, and they have other functions, but in this case, the purpose of the function is to make it prettier. I could put all that in there, and it would still work. You can write an AI to play against you in tic-tac-toe with nothing but if statements and assigning variables. Seriously, you're gotta be tired of me saying that, but it's true. I want you to realize that you can do a lot with already what you know, because I want you to have a lot of confidence in yourself. You can say, you know, I'm going to go out and do stuff. And I mean, there's a lot more. I could sit here and do this every day for the next 10 years and still not have taught you a lot, really. I mean, there's a lot to know. I mean, I'm going to school for this, right? I do it full time. There must be a lot to know. But nevertheless, use what you do know. Go out and think about what you could do with it, right? I mean, all this is, heck, it's possible it's people watching have worked on this. I mean, it's good code, especially if you're a beginner. There are things I'd like to improve on it, and someday down the line I'll talk about clean code and the idea of having things well object-oriented. But for now, yeah, jerk function. This is funny. You can have it print out an insult. It just says if it's an insult, pick a random insult and give it back to me. That's horrible. Also, I love the verbiage, or not verbiage. I love the vocabulary of cur and cad. I wonder if someone European wrote this. And we got a Monty Python reference. Very nice. Another one. I like these. That kind of stuff's fun. It's cheesy. It's not terribly useful or cool, but it's fun, right? Go write fun code. Fun code is so much better than not fun code. I work in my job all day where we have 400,000 lines roughly of medical code, and spend an hour looking at that, and you'll want to curl up in a ball and cry. It's hard. But go write fun code, right? That's literally all I have for you. I wanted to show you what you could do with this, and tell you about the Learn Programming mentoring channel and program and club and all that fun stuff. Anything you can do with that letter C. Though not anything. But I want to tell you about that. I want you to say come join us. We'd be happy to have anyone who feels like joining. I'll be starting my new Java project soon. Go write yourself a rock, paper, scissors game now. It'll be fun, and you'll be really proud of yourself when you can play against the computer and go, I wrote that. So, yeah, awesome. How do I... It's not going to work.